Welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. I'm Joey Calvo. I decided to start this a little early. I couldn't wait till 12 o'clock. This is something, before I get started actually with it, let us continue to help out the victims of the California wildfires. They do need our help. They lost a lot in the fires and everything. So anything can help. Gift cards, clothing, whatever you can help with, all is accepted. It'd be a great blessing to those that really, really need it. So the reason why I'm doing this impromptu podcast today is because a lot's going on. And I need to make it clear. I have to make things clear. So I know what I'm going to say is going to affect a lot, even with this podcast. So I'm already going to accept responsibility in advance for everything that happens. So the title of this podcast is called Friends. And the reason why it's called Friends is because there have been times that I don't deserve to be a friend to people. And so I want to explain why I am who I am in reference to that. So first thing I'm going to start with, and I had already eliminated, are those that are supposed to be your friends. They're supposed to know what you want, but they're telling you what to do. So, sorry about that, folks. There we go. So, they're telling me what to do. They're not saying, can we suggest? They're saying, do it. And so that's a definite no. If I'm going to make decisions, it's my own life, not yours to control. So if that's the friend that you want to be, goodbye. I don't even want to deal with you. Okay? I don't like being told what to do anymore. I really don't. Then I have friends who are just friends when I treat. So, but when I go to do that, I already assume that I'm paying for everything. So, and when I really need the help, those that rely on me taking care of them back off. Like, no, we can't help you. We can't even help ourselves. Then I'm like, well, why do you bother with me then? So that's another type of friendship. The next type of friendship are those that are there for you, that do care about you, and you wind up being interested in them as more than a friend. That's where I'm facing right now. Because I have some people that I got to know that I'm really interested in wanting to be with, spending physical time with. Okay? Literally, they are just so good looking. You really, it's like you want to be with them so much to enjoy their company. And I mean, they have busy lives. And, I understand that. And then I feel bad because it's like I'm pushing myself to them when they really don't want it. So with that being said, in reference to it, that's when I say goodbye. Because it's not their fault. They have their own thing. They have their relationships. They have their work. They have their careers. They have their lives. They have their other people to spend time with. So I say goodbye to that because now when I mention that, I start to feel like I'm an inconvenience to those people. And so that is kind of friends that I had. And yes, I'm using the word had because I'm slowly letting everyone go as a friend. Because in reference to those reasons that I just gave, I don't deserve or want to be part of it. So now there is another set of friends that are the same as the ones I just said that have their own lives and everything. And they stand by you. And they do what they can to support you. But they're not interested in anything more than just what they do. And that's not right either. Because then I feel that I put like so many standards on them. Okay. I put so much. It's kind of like I set a high criteria to even want to associate with me. And that's not right to those people. So my kind of definition of a friend per se is someone who really cares, wants to be there for you physically and mentally. Okay? And will do whatever it takes to help a friend in need. Now, that little say I just said, here's another reason why I don't deserve friends. Because this podcast is doing a GoFundMe page right now. So I've been expressing it out to those quote-unquote friends. And out of that, I had people coming back to me in the most negative way and saying, "Oh, you're just doing this so you can have money to go to Atlantic City with," or, you're raising money for yourself. No, I'm not. I'm actually not. I mean, the Atlantic City part, yeah. But that has nothing really to do with me. And the reason why I'm raising this money is because the computer that I'm using for these podcasts is outdated. Now, when I said that on a Facebook page, I've also had people say, "Well, go get a job." Well, it's kind of hard when you're unemployed and you attempted to find a job. Okay? So I've been working on working on grants. I even had Matthew Lesko on here last Tuesday, or almost 2 Tuesdays ago. And we had a fun conversation. And if you watch that podcast, you will see that, I was kind of a little upbeat in reference to it because Matthew Lesko is a legend. Okay. He did infomercials in the 90s. He was kind of one of the originators of infomercials. Okay. In reference to grants, finding government grants and stuff, to the point where, I belong to a group that he has. So it's not that I'm not doing something for me in reference to it, but it has nothing to do with this podcast. The money that I'm raising is to get new equipment, and I also want to expand this podcast really out, because if I've been making a difference in somebody's life, yes, I'd like to know. And that was something in the podcast on Thursday night or Thursday afternoon with J.R. Reddy. If you watch that podcast, he said something to those that asked if I really made a difference, to give a like, to give a shout out, to let me know. Okay? Because if I don't see anything, then I'm feeling like I'm not making a difference at all. Okay? So that is definitely another thing. I am apologizing. My eyes are bothering me a little bit. So if I'm squinting a lot, it's because of the eyes. Or if I'm rubbing my eyes a lot, it's because of the eyes. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep either, because I've been very busy. But in reference to my definition of a friend, if you're going to be my friend, do your best to support me by sharing things. Okay? Like this GoFundMe. I'm going to be honest, nobody shares it. Because if it was shared, I would actually even see it on my timeline on Facebook. Okay? Saying, hey, please help my friend Joey Calvo out. Okay? He's unemployed, and being unemployed, he's doing this podcast, and his podcast just picked up a lot of guests till March of 2026, and he needs a lot of help in reference to expanding this podcast to reach it out on TV or on radio or in other directions. So that was kind of one thing I really was hoping to see. I didn't see that. And even in those friends that say that they're there for you, that are even the top of the list, you it's like I feel like I put so much of a standard on them that doesn't even happen. And I feel bad, and to that point, I'm going to leave, because I'm not worth being a friend if you look at, being there to talk to me, yeah, okay. But most of the time recently now, it's more of the physical end of it. Anything I do, I wind up doing alone, and I'm not really comfortable anymore on it. I'm now getting used to sitting on a bus, looking at people being happy, and I'm like, fuck yous all, deep down. Because I'm looking at myself like I'm not happy. Yeah, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression in 2009. Okay. But, and there were times I spent time with people and I was happy then. I was okay. I was like, as long as there was someone with me, I was okay. I would not be down in the dumps or anything. I'd be like, hey, thanks for coming. Let's let's go do this, or whatever you suggest doing. I mean, I have a video on YouTube with one of my classmates and her brother, who is a activist. Okay, a very famous activist at that. And we were in Valley Forge National Park, and we're the two of us are walking, and her brother's in front of us. So like you get this, my camera's at his rear end, but you can hear him, and the two of us are like watch as we're walking and enjoying the time together that way. We're watching, we're cracking up because he's doing his own YouTube live stream at the same time that I'm doing this video. And I enjoyed it because I got the time, I got a chance to spend time with people. And that's what mainly is hurting me now. The so-called friends, when I ask, listen, I'm going to be down here on this day. Come join me. I'm not saying it to, say, hey, I want you to come down here to shut me up. No, I want you to come down and spend time with me. Get me away from things that people think are dangerous to me, which everybody thinks it's the slot machines. Well, guess what? I think the slot machines are being more of a friend to me than anybody else right now. Okay? Because that's my getaway. That shouldn't be my getaway all the time. But I am getting tired of literally doing things by myself. So why bother having friends? Okay? Why bother having friends? Everybody is a far distance at this point to me. And even, yes, one former classmate wanted me to come down. But remember I said about those that are good looking and hot and you want to be more than a friend to them? Okay? As soon as she wound up getting a boyfriend, that was it. I literally canceled the trip. I was like, why bother going down? I mean, it's not going to be much of a benefit to me, or feel like a benefit. Yeah, I would have gotten to see the person. Yeah, I could have been okay. But it was like, I wanted more than that. And yes, I did. And there was another one that you've seen a lot on this podcast. Same thing. Except I really am interested in her. And I really wanted more with her. But I pushed it. And not only did I push it, I put it to a point where I was forcing, I could have forced them into something that I know that they never would be happy with. And I didn't want to do that to this person. So I'm going to introduce you to the real friend you should have. Okay? It's definitely not me. Okay? It's definitely not me. I'm not even worth the paper anymore in reference to it. Yes, if this scares off guests, if I get emails that guests no longer want to be on this podcast because of my attitude, then, so be it. I'm sorry. But at the same time, am I asking people still to go to the GoFundMe page? Yes. But I'm not saying it because of me. I'm actually saying it because of the podcast. Because I want to do things with this podcast. Because those that wanted me to go get help. Well, when I went to see a psychiatrist, the psychiatrist said this podcast was actually my therapy. And I almost laughed at the guy. Okay? I almost laughed at the guy. I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, how could this be a therapy? Well, you know what? He was right. And I started to realize how this could be a therapy. Well, okay. But it's only a therapy to one thing. But it's not a therapy to another. And in reference to friends, yeah, those friends that told me what to do, I literally got tired of it. I said, you know what? I'm done with you. And I literally just said, fuck off. I mean, I shocked someone. I sent them a Christmas card because I did have a little heart, though. Just because I don't want to associate with them the way they did doesn't mean happy, not to be a happy holiday person in reference to it. But now it's my feelings have gotten a little out of control. Now, the other night when I had JR Rennie on, we were on for almost a little over an hour. And he explained about, I had the this person I'm going to show you in a minute who really deserves more friends than I do. Much more friends. Okay. Now, what J.R. Rennie said about this person is this person actually, and he went off a Bible story, and as soon as he started to explain it, I said, yeah, I do feel like this person did it. But what I didn't know is I didn't think I would be really interested in this person as more as a friend. And because of my emotional feelings and my loneliness, I pushed it. But I was the one that turned around and said, I'm going to go. Because I didn't want to put that person through a lot more. So, in reference to that person, this is the person that I really believe, if you want to be friends with someone, this is the person to be friends with. I mean, yes, if you want to be a friend, be the friend, but be the friend that says, hey, please help my friend Joey out with this GoFundMe. Help him support, help him with the podcast because he's not working right now and he needs help because I don't have a lot of, be honest, I don't have a lot of unemployment left. And the way this podcast is going, I literally am doing a podcast almost every day. And I'm not making anything for it. Okay? Yeah, I put episodes on the Spotify, the anchor.fm for purchase. Nobody's going to purchase them. Nobody wants to purchase them. Everybody wants them for free. So you got the YouTube channel. But for me to make money on the YouTube channel, you have to have have 10,000 hours of videos done. And you have to have at least 3,000 subscribers. I'm lucky if I have 80 right now. I think I got 81 last I checked. Okay? 81. And I mean, it's costing me to even get the GoFundMe going and out. And out of all that, I got one donation so far. One. Since March. I mean, yeah, when I was almost homeless, yeah, I will say I had friends help me there. And I was appreciative. I don't know if they shared it, but again, if they did, I would have seen it because I'm on their friends list. Okay? I would have seen it because I'm on their friends list. Would I love to see it? Yes, because if I saw it, then I know, okay, thank you. But it's much more than that now these days. Like I said, it's the physical, face-to-face time. Okay? I mean, I have classmates that are in Georgia. I have family in Florida. And matter of fact, this week, she's having surgery done. And I'm doing a podcast on Wednesday night and Thursday afternoon. But at the same time, I'm going to be worried about my cousin. So, I got to keep praying with that everything goes through. And, I mean, like I said, and putting them, I'm feeling bad because I'm putting American Fox on the spot about it. And she's been the number one fan, number one supporter. Like I said, she sends questions when I don't come up with questions. She feels bad when she doesn't come up with questions. If podcasts are short or if they run long. But she does ask how some of these podcasts go. I mean, I wanted her on the podcast myself for her to explain who she is. That's a real friend you should have. Because if you're close to where she is, she could spend time with you as a friend. If I attempted, wouldn't have happened. Because I was rushing the pace. That's another thing that a friend shouldn't have. A friend shouldn't be pressured. Okay? A friend should not be pressured. They should not be pressured. They should not be pushed. They should not be put in a position that they feel uncomfortable about. They should not even or abusing them. I mean, I had I mean, I've had some where I didn't physically abuse them. Okay. I didn't physically abuse them. But it's like, I kind of like wore them out. But that's because I was alone. I was bored. I wanted someone to spend time with. I was one of those kids that wanted to go out and play a lot. And when I did, I mean, it was okay. But if I was by myself, no. Because I was feeling like I was confined. So, yeah, everybody's learning why am I the way I am. And I'm not ashamed of what I'm saying. I'm sorry for what I'm saying because I know I'm going to lose a lot of people off of it. But at the same time, this is why. Because if you want to be my friend, you got to take the time out, literally, and spend time with me. Now, with one person that I was very close with, it used to be every day. And believe me, I was happy. I mean, I got to spend, even if it was 15 minutes, I was happy because I got to see this person. Okay? 15 minutes. But I was happy. And then it got to be once a week. But I was still happy because I was still physically spending time with the person until it got to the point where, beyond circumstances, beyond my control, it all faded back. Now, I'm lucky if this person sees me. This person's lucky enough to see me on my birthday in March. Now, yes, I have been suggested to go to like a reunion type thing, and I wanted to do it. I was all go for it, and I did. I did go to my 30th. I will say that, even though it was a year later, but I went. And I was happy to see people, but one little of the what I said about the first group of people telling you what to do, I wanted to have wine because wine is my healthy thing, as bad as iced coffees and lemonades. But I wanted wine because I knew wine would do me okay. I would be fine and, manageable. No. My classmates would not let me have one glass of wine at all. At all. Was I pissed off? Hell yeah. And I kept saying, let me have wine, because that's what I want. No. You're going to have this. You're going to have this. And they gave me these drinks, and I'm like, that's not supposed to be a friend. A friend. See, another thing about a friend, in reference with me, is if you saying, I'll put American Fox as an example of this. So American Fox and I are out. We went to a bar. crime is down for the night. And she felt comfortable hanging out with me at a bar. Okay? And we're sitting there. And I ordered myself a glass of wine. Now, she asked me what I would order for her. I'm like, I don't do that. You order what you want because it's what you like, not what I want. I'm happy. I'm happy at this point because of the physical time. You already got me happy there. So I'm not going to turn around and tell you, oh, you're going to have a Jaeger shot or a gin rummy or gin and tonic or something, some type of drink. I'm not going to tell you what to drink because I don't want to control either. And that's what happened at that night. And yes, I had to deal with it. As much as I was happy to see people, some people that were happy to see me, those that were happy to see me were some of the ones that were like, you're not drinking what you want. You're drinking what we're telling you to drink. That's not a friend. Okay? Now, if you said, I'm going to suggest this, but you drink what you want. Well, I didn't feel that night. If you're going to be my friend, the physicality of face-to-face time is the most important part of it. Like I said, I can't blame American Fox for this one. I can't blame anybody for it because everybody has their own lives. Okay? So that's why I'm saying that I feel like an inconvenience because I'm interrupting their lives. And that's not right either. So, folks, if you really want a great best friend, there she is right there. American Fox. She is the greatest person to talk to. She has a heart of gold. Okay? She has a lot of wisdom, too. And I became stubborn off of it. And that's not right either. That's another reason why our friendship was breaking off. Because I wasn't listening. Because friendship's supposed to be a two-way street as well. But again, I wanted more than a friendship with American Fox at the time. And all I could do is be sorry. And there are others that talk to me. And I feel the same way to them. Wishing I could be with them physically. Now, one I can understand is very busy. You can only push it to a point. But most of the time, that person knows that I wish I could spend time with them physically just to enjoy time with a friend and maybe do something interesting. And I'll tell you, the money I'm raising for the podcast, you know what I really want to do with that money? I wanted to do what was like a meet and greet. Like these exotic conventions that happen. Like the one in Edison in October with Liz River, who was on the podcast last year. Believe me, I would love to bring her to Atlantic City for you guys to meet. I would love to have brought American Fox down to Atlantic City for you guys to meet and get to know and, have them sign autographs for you and, be up close and personal with them. Because I would have stood to the side and just enjoyed watching you, the fans, going up to them, shaking their hands, and asking for their autographs, paying for their autographs, etc. Would they probably would have came see me afterwards? Oh, I don't know. And even if they did, I'd either probably not as much as I would be in a mood, one type of mood in reference to them. I'd probably be just like sitting like, okay, so you did this. This is happening. You're going to do this. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me hold you off. Now, if they turned around and wanted to do something with me physically, okay. Sometimes you have to drag me out. You literally have to drag. And that I'll tell you a quick story of it real quick because we're coming up to an hour. And I really wasn't even going to think I was going to take an hour on this. But when I had my own place, and it was the holidays. I think it was Christmas. Yeah, it was Christmas. And I really didn't want to go out. I really didn't want to go see my family. I just wanted to stay inside. I think I had a cat at the time. No, I didn't have a cat at the time. But my family, my one older brother, God rest his soul, came over, literally had to drag me out of my place to take me to the family gathering. And I was somewhat happy, but I really didn't want to go because I just didn't feel like it. But I was upsetting my nieces and nephews if I didn't go. So I had to cave in. You have nieces and nephews that look up to you. You got to do your best to show them that you are there for them. Now they're grown up and had kids of their own, except for 2. But again, all I could do is be sorry for being an inconvenience to all these people and being in their lives. And again, I can't blame them for their lives. I can only blame myself for it. Because, again, the up close and personal. That's what I weighed the most on. And nobody could do it. So I'm at the point to why bother? Why bother being in their lives? Why bother bothering them? Why bother really? Why even be there? They can manage without you. They did when they met you, and they can still do it without you. So I decided to do the without you and step back. But I can suggest it to all of you. You want a really good friend. American Fox is the friend that you should have. American Fox is the one you should reach out and talk to. Because, like I said, I know, and I have learned in all that time, that American Fox will listen. American Fox will reply. American Fox may give you some wisdom to go by. What American Fox may not be able to do may be physical. But if you're like me and wanting the physical, then you'd have to work it with American Fox in reference to it. I couldn't, as much as I wanted to. And that's kind of my main reasoning why I am saying goodbye to quote unquote my friends. Because of the up close and personal. And because of that, I feel like I set a bar way too high for these people. And they don't deserve that. There shouldn't be a bar, period. But I'd put one up. And American Fox has one up too for other reasons, but I mean, I'm aware of them. But it doesn't mean that American Fox is not going to listen to you. American Fox is going to speak to you. If you physically have a conversation, if you have a conversation with American Fox, then there you go. But if you want more than that, don't push it. Don't make the mistakes I did. Because in the end, you're the one that gets hurt for it. And that's what I've learned. I learned a lot through American Fox, believe it or not. That's how I found out most of these things. And I applauded her for that. So again, if you really want a great friend to have, non-physical, American Fox is the one. I'm not worth it. So if, like I said, if I wind up losing podcasts for it, I have to take responsibility for my actions. As I'm losing American Fox as a friend, that's my fault, not hers. If I stop talking to everybody, it's not their fault, it's mine. Because of my actions. Mostly everybody thinks I'm doing a reaction. Well, that reaction has an action in it. And this is the action I'm taking in reference to it. So again, my suggestion, and I'm saying this is a suggestion, if you want a really good friend to talk to and get to know, American Fox is the one. American Fox is the one that will listen to you and reply to you and talk to you. Because American Fox does have the hugest heart you would ever think. And I know that too well. And again, all I can do is be sorry for feeling like an inconvenience to her. Because I pushed so much of what I wanted about it. And because of that, I set a high bar to it. That's not a friend. And that's why I literally say I am not deserving of a friendship with anyone because of me. Because of what I require as a friend. I mean, I have someone I grew up with when we were younger. It was like if they had a better car than I did, they would show it off. I would wind up being. I felt like I was being embarrassed. I didn't want that. Am I still friends with this person? Yeah. I mean, we grew up together. And I mean, his life changed too. But yet I'm still there for that. Because we had the physical times together back then. Now he's got his life, I have mine. And we do reach out on each other's birthdays and holidays. So, I mean, that's not as bad. But someone like American Fox, I could wish a lot. And I would have been happy with a lot. But I pushed a lot. And American Fox doesn't deserve that. But again, I could say to you, the viewers, the followers, the so-called friends, there's your real friends right there on that screen. American Fox. Not me. So next week, it's going to be a lot of guests coming on. Matter of fact, the rest of this month, almost every single day of the week, with the exception of the weekends, is going to be filled with podcasts. So subscribe to this channel. Share the GoFundMe, please. Because if I see the GoFundMe, I will feel thankful that I see it. Okay? I will be thankful when someone shares my GoFundMe page and I physically see it. Because then I know, okay, that I do have some type of support. Because the support I feel like I have right now faded and disappeared. And it's not their fault. So God bless you all. Thank you for watching and viewing the Life with Joey Calvo YouTube channel podcast. I'll speak to you soon. God bless you.